Hey guys, I'm Owen, and this is my day in the life. First thing I do is I wake up and I wait. Wait for my caregiver to get me out of bed. Then I take a shower with my caregiver and get dressed and get ready for the day. Then I take Buddy the dog on a walk and get my feeding tube ready.
I worked in corporate research as an engineer slash scientist for several years until my spinal cord injury. Actually, along the way between my bachelor's and intermittently and until I had a full-time engineering job.
I'm a power wheelchair user that does not transfer, and being transferred is very difficult. I'm 6'3" and over 200 pounds. Having a wheelchair docking station in a vehicle, airplane, or whatever is extremely important to me to have the independence to lock in securely and exit when I want to.
Over 40 years ago, I acquired a spinal cord injury, and it left me paralyzed from the waist down, required me to use a manual wheelchair for mobility. I remember when I first was able to learn to drive again and get my own vehicle, how tremendously freeing that was. But then as I age, now over 45 years later, I'm fortunate that my wife and I ride to work together and that she's able to help me transfer into the vehicle. But as I age and my strength declines and my flexibility declines, it becomes ever harder to make the transfer. But modified vehicles are expensive, they're less reliable, and it'd be nice to have a method where I could continue to have that freedom of going when I want to go, where I want to go, as my condition changes.
I want you to imagine that every time you left your home, the ground beneath you felt unpredictable, uneven, shaking, painful. For me, as a power wheelchair user with a spinal cord injury and titanium rods in my back, that's not hypothetical, it's daily life. Sidewalks are often cracked, sloped, or poorly maintained. What might seem like a small bump to others sends vibrations straight through my chair and into my spine. It's not just uncomfortable, it's painful. Over time, it wears you down physically and mentally. So half the time, I'm forced to make a choice, endure that pain or move on to the main road. And when I'm on the road, I'm not just navigating traffic, I'm risking my safety. But sometimes, the road feels safer than the sidewalk. This isn't just about infrastructure. It's about dignity, independence, and inclusion. Accessibility isn't a luxury. It's the difference between participating in society or being excluded from it.
I struggle a lot of times picking things up off the ground, especially out in the community. When I'm at home, I have a dustpan that I can use to pick things up off the ground. But out in the community, and especially if nobody's around, it can be very challenging, if I drop something, to try to figure out a way to pick things up. I struggle getting things out of the refrigerator usually, especially if it's far back in the refrigerator, or even if it's in the door that I can reach pretty easily with one hand. It's sometimes hard to get something with one hand. So I'll end up dropping things a lot just trying to get something out of the refrigerator as well.
One of the things that I really enjoy doing is shopping for myself. One of the common problems with doing that is reaching things that are up on shelves. And I usually have to rely on the kindness of strangers to get things down for me and get them in my bag and get them processed through checkout and payment. And this is something that I think a lot of people with disabilities have trouble with.
I've been needing food prepared for me since my injury in February of 2005 when I became a quadriplegic. I can easily explain to my caregivers what needs done, from preparing and cooking my meals to helping me with feeding and getting a drink. I am just unable to do it myself physically. Without a caregiver being able and willing to help me throughout my day, it would be impossible for me to stay and live within my own home.